This week we begin a new section of material that we'll be looking at for the next 3 weeks, and this material addresses the topic of ethics. Sometimes ethics is called moral philosophy, and it's basically the examination of or consideration of the study of right and wrong. How do we determine right and wrong? How do we determine the moral course of action that we in our everyday decision making? How do we determine what is the right thing to do? We will look at this section of material by looking at 3 dimensions of ethics, or 3 approaches to ethics. We will look at deontological ethics. Deontological ethics is what we will consider this week. Deontological ethics can be defined as an ethics of duty, duty to a moral code. For example, duty to the 10 Commandments, duty to the civil law, which says the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. Doesn't have to be a religious code. It can be any kind of code. It can be a nurse's code of ethics, can be a physician's code of ethics, can be the law of the land, it can be a religious code. Sometimes deontological ethics is also called non-consequentialist ethics. It is called non-consequentialist ethics because it's not concerned with consequences or outcomes. Just keep the rule, just keep the code, and the code will tell you the right thing to do. Second type of ethics that we will look at, which we will examine next week, is teleological ethics. Teleological ethics is also known as consequentialist ethics, and it's called consequentialist ethics because it's concerned with the consequences or the outcome of our moral decisions. So consequentialist ethics or teleological ethics would say, I don't speed because I would not want to get a ticket, and I would not want my insurance to go up, and I would not want to have to get another job in order to pay for my insurance. Those are the consequences of speeding, so therefore I will not speed, possible consequences. Deontological ethics would say I do not speed because I'm just going to keep the law of the land. The law of the land says the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So we keep the code. So deontological ethics and teleological ethics are 2 radically different kinds of ethics. Then thirdly, we will look at 2 other issues, and we will look at, first of all, virtue ethics. Virtue ethics was proposed by Aristotle, and we'll examine his golden means, and you'll want to read about his golden means in Carter's Primer, An Introduction to Philosophy. We'll also discuss that in online. And then we will also discuss some anti-ethical theories, specifically looking at cultural relativism, which is considered to be anti-ethical in that it proposes that there's no one standard, one universal, objective, absolute standard that applies to all individuals. Everybody has their own standards of right and wrong. Standards of right and wrong vary according to relativism, and this can be a problematic theory. Even though our culture increasingly endorses it, it does have some downsides. So those are the things we'll be looking at in this material on ethics. This week we will specifically look at deontological ethics and focus on those. And I hope that you're having a good week. I hope that you do have a good week. I hope that you'll let me know if you're having a problem with some of the material or problem with the course at all. We're kind of getting into the thick of things. I know that the responsibilities of the semester are weighing heavy on us all. So let me know if you're having a problem, and we'll try to work through that problem. If you see me on campus at any time in the future, let me know that you're in the class. I'd love to meet you face to face. Otherwise, have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.